We are reaching for a dream and we're looking after our kids too. So we paid a visit to one of the day's festivities and we went where we can find all our little kids, where we can make them really, really happy.
Every child should be able to enjoy fun, fairy tales and magic, but it's not always possible for those fighting life-threatening illnesses. So Slipper Day supports these little warriors.
Slipper Day is primarily to identify with children who are life-threatened, because children who are sick are obviously in pajamas and slippers, and many of them spend months in hospital having intensive interventive therapy. And by wearing slippers one day a year, it gives South Africans across the whole spectrum of society an opportunity to identify in a really fun fashion with these sick kids.
For 28 years, Reach for a Dream has been granting wishes to little boys and girls who are fighting life-threatening diseases. And in celebration of their annual Slipper Day, they're bringing a team of joy makers to children's wards in hospitals across the country to help brighten their road to recovery.
Volunteers and media personalities donned their slippers and smiles to visit the pediatrics ward in Joburg General Hospital and meet some exceptional children.
Bronwyn, there's a lot of hustle and bustle happening here today. What activities have you planned?
Today is our Slipper Day handout at the hospitals, which is what we do on an annual basis. We bring Slipper Day to the children in the wards because obviously they are unable to leave the wards and join us in the festivities.
And what's been the children's response?
The children have absolutely loved it. They always love days like this where somebody comes into the ward and brings a bit of light relief, some fun, excitement. The ward, it can be a place where it's long stays in hospital, boring, they don't have their family with them, they don't get this to see their friends, and they also associate it with the trauma of, their treatment. So any kind of light relief, any fun activities, the children love it.
The team of joy makers handed out socks, slippers, treats and toys, while a magician entertained the parents and young patients.
The opportunity to work with children that are sick is a privilege for me. In fact, I've said to so many people that I think the kids are doing more for me than I could do for them, because it makes me realize, Mauro, you have nothing serious to complain about.
I think we live in an amazing country in South Africa, but if, like myself, like you, like most of the people watching, we're people who have a job or people who are luckier than a lot of other people in South Africa, we have an obligation to help out those who maybe aren't quite so fortunate.
I hope that something like Slipper Day gains a lot of recognition. I mean, every year we've seen it snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. So I would love to see it getting bigger and bigger every year, and that eventually one year you'll go into an office and there won't be one person wearing shoes. They'll all be wearing slippers and donating money to Reach for a Dream.
The money raised from the purchase of Slipper Day stickers through businesses and schools helps make the dreams come true of children with life-threatening diseases, so they can have a bit of magic in their childhood.
Parents and families often spend hours by their children's side hoping that they get better, but for every other moment there's a dedicated team of doctors and nurses who make sure that every child who comes in here has a fighting chance at life. That's why a day like this is so great, because it helps breathe in a breath of fresh air and sunshine to an ongoing operation.